Hey everybody, standing outside the utility closet. It's dark in there. Why? You'll figure that out in a moment. It's the 29th day of Lent, April 7th, 2025. More Wondrous Encounters with Richard Rohr. This one is a tantalizing. It's called Lust and Love. The readings are from Daniel and John. You may want to write the Daniel reading down so you can remember. So it's Daniel 13, 1 through 9, 15 to 17, 19 to 30, and 33. Those are the verses. Daniel 13, 1 through 9, 15 to 17, 19 to 30, 33 to 62. That's a long one. So hope you wrote that down. Rewind it and play it again. And John 8, 1 through 11. We actually just talked about that one a few weeks ago. So go and read those. Come back. Lust and Love. In the seminary, remember he's a Catholic priest. In the seminary, these readings were always wonderfully challenging for us celibates. We would watch our professors twitch with discomfort as we read publicly in church of a naked woman bathing, open voyeurism, lustful elders who told bold lies to cover their sin, and to condemn innocent Susanna. That's from the Daniel reading. "Bring me oil and soap," said Susanna to the maids, "and shut the garden door while I bathe." Little did she know there were dirty old men hiding behind the bushes. Go back and read it. That's what happens. The wise celebrant of the day invariably discouraged using the longer version of the reading and wanted the shorter version. So we went back to our rooms and checked out the full 13th chapter of the book of Daniel. We felt sorry for the poor Protestants who had excised this from the official canon and even called it Apocrypha. This was good, bad stuff. But it was fortunately followed by the wonderful gospel and the adulterous woman who is caught and yet freed. In scripture class, it became apparent that this story was clearly inserted into John 8, since does not follow from nor lead to the text before or after, and it is not found in the earliest manuscripts. All agree today that it is canonical and perhaps actually from Luke in another place. And we are very glad it is an official biblical text, for the message is superb and needed. We are all nervous, confused, and guilt-ridden about sex. Keep it in the closet. We are all nervous, confused, and guilt-ridden about sex almost more than anything else. It is what C.G. Jung would call a complex. Various thoughts or images which hold all kinds of strong and unconscious energy, flowing out in irrational directions. Our reactions are always strange and confused when we are in the grip of a complex, whether it be overly positive or overly negative. We surely see it here in both readings today. In short, humans have a hard time distinguishing between lust and true love. For most men, it takes much of our lives to know the difference. And we have just such men illustrated in both readings today, and two women the worse for it. Although a dozen needed sermons could come from this gospel, may it suffice here to highlight one line in our reading that might be the most quoted verse from Jesus and spoken here in defense of the woman. If you will allow me one further interpretation, I personally think that Jesus bending down to write on the ground, the only example of Jesus writing, was to avoid any confrontational stare and cruel accusation of the men. He wanted them to take responsibility for themselves. His love was so gracious and universal that he even wanted to save them from the condemnation of his eyes. And I quote, "Neither do I condemn you," he says to both the women and the men. This is an example of his wonderful third way solutions. The excerpt is from John 8, 7 and 8. "If there is one of you who has not sinned, let him be the first to throw the stone." Then he bent down and began to write on the ground. Here's your challenging prompt. God of love, you made love so important for our salvation that you took the risk of us doing it poorly, as we all do. Keep us free from throwing stones at others so we can see our own clumsy attempts at divine love. Don't keep it in the closet. Examine. Don't throw stones. I'll see you tomorrow.